You want to be a tank main, right? Well, you're gonna have to listen up, rookie, because I'm gonna put you through hell. Not quite. This is a tank guide after all, this isn't death. But yeah, I just want to start off with what we're going to be talking about today. In this video, we're going to be talking about each and every tank. And yeah, also, we are right now currently on 76 subscribers, you know, Soldier 76. So, if we could get to 100 subs by the end of the year, that would be insane. Like, I'd be so happy if we got that. So, if you do enjoy the video, please do consider subscribing, it really means a lot. Yeah, let's get right into the start of the characters. Okay, so first off is D.Va. The abilities are very simple. D.Va's like a dive character. So basically what that means is she'll jump right in, like so. Maybe get behind the enemy and dive right onto the squishies, onto the little guys, or onto the healers, etc. So to start off with, we've got our primary fire. This is a nice little basic shotgun type class. Second ability is the Helix rocket. So it's just extra rockets. These do go very far. So if you're trying to hit someone from afar, you know, get that extra ult charge or get the extra damage in, try and finish off an opponent. There you have it. Next ability is very simple. It's just a dash or like a fly, you know, fly around. And yeah, good for maneuvering, but blah blah blah. Good for maneuverability. Sorry. Yeah, also good for flanking. So, for example, you know, you want to go around, D.Va can go around. Our last ability is the defense matrix. Their best ability in the game, in my opinion. Basically, yeah, just defending anything. Be like a Reaper ult or a Hoggle or anything. She can defend it. Finally, you've got D.Va's ultimate. This is like a nuke. Does a lot of damage. It will one-shot most characters. As you can see, only got one. And after that, you'll come into D.Va's mech. Or unmech form, sorry. And yeah, all you have is a pistol until you get her ult back, which is a second ult, which is calling the mech back in. Once you call it back in and you drop it on an enemy, it will deal extra damage. And yeah, then you'll go back into your mech form. Like so. Cool. Yeah, D.Va's very good. The reason why I think D.Va's one of the best characters in the game, she's got a defense matrix, which makes it basically invincible, and also she's got 2 lives. I said at the start, D.Va was a dive character, and that's right. She does dive in, she'll jump in, but also you can use it as a defensive character to defend your team. See, for example, this guy's one tap. You know, you can defend your teammates. That is very advised. One common mistake I see with D.Va mains or D.Va players is they'll use their defense matrix too much and it'll run out and then you'll just be fucked. You'll get killed, you'll get out your mech and there'll be no defense. This could be very catastrophic. Yes, big word. Very bad. Because any teammates or enemies, you know, that might fire a bombardment of death, you know, their ultimates. Say, for example, a Reaper ult jumps in right in front of you and you're out your mech, you know, you're gonna die, and so is the rest of your team. You want to make sure you still got your defense matrix. You want to have at least half, just in case anything like that does happen, and you can just eat it all. That's what you want to do as D.Va. It pisses off the enemy team, and in competitive, sounds bad, but you want to piss off the enemy team because, you know, you want them to rage, you want them to be angry, and you just want to win. Another thing is with D.Va players is they'll be so excited with their ult, and they'll want to use it straight away, get right in there, and say, oh yeah, get a sex double kill, come on, they'll watch it. Okay, yeah, it does well, but on the odd occasion that it doesn't, don't just watch the ult fly in. When you do it, I'll show you what you should do. I'm not gonna lie, I also have this issue sometimes. It's very hard not to watch the ult. I completely agree. Because you watch it and you see people running away, and it's quite funny watching it. But when you ult in, you want to ignore it and just try and damage as well. Say for example that guy that got on the back there, you could finish him off. Or you could set yourself up ready to drop the mech down on someone and kill him. That's the best thing you want to do instead of just watch the ult. If you just watch it, you know, you're not going to get any extra kills from that. You get 0 kills and you've watched it, so you've wasted your time as well. That's all the tips for D.Va I can give you. On to the next character. Moving on to the next, very quickly, we have Hog. Primary fire, shotgun as well. You can get close up in their faces, like so. Or his right click, or his LT, is like a long range attack, so it's good for, you know, getting enemies from far away. Next we have the hook, which reels people in. You know, very basic, very good for closing the distance. And finally, Hog's last ability, his normal ability, is a heal. Yeah, not only does this heal him, it also takes damage reduction while he's being healed. But yeah, it's quite OP. Say for example, you know, a D.Va bomb drops in your face. Even if you're at full health, as soon as it's about to explode, you can quickly heal up and Yeah, it'll keep you alive. Main thing with Hog is hook accuracy. If you miss your hooks, then you likely don't want to play Hog unless you get better with him, especially in compet. What I do normally before I actually hook, sounds bad, but you wait a few seconds, you just wait to get it perfect. What I do, instead of watching the whole picture, you know, we're talking about the screen now. I'm not looking at all the people. I'm actually looking at the green dot in the middle. I've changed mine to a green dot. But I'm looking at the green dot. And you see the red outline of the enemy there. You can see it. I'm trying to wait till that green dot gets on that enemy. So as soon as I see it's on the enemy, I'll hook it in. And this could take a few seconds. You don't have to just jump in and do it straight away. When you get better with Hog, you can do that. Because obviously, you know, you'll get better with anticipating and playing the character. But when you're starting off, what you can do is you can give it a few seconds, you know, jump around, get your dot perfect and ready, and straight away hook. And when you do hook, what you want to do is, instead of just shooting, you shoot and stab. And what that'll do, it does increase damage, capable of one-shotting an enemy. Next common mistake with Hog is his heals. It's his second ability. You don't want to heal up just when you're low. You do, but Hog's heal is insane. Like, it's so much more OP than what players think it is. You can use Hog's heal in many scenarios. For example, a Diva Bomb drops in your face, you can heal up. Or a Reaper's dropping on, killing your team, you can heal up. Or in another Hog fight, you know, Hog 1 versus 1, if you're low, you can heal up as well. You know, it's got more capabilities than you think. That misconception that it's just a heal is insane. It also reduces damage taken, so you can basically save yourself from death. Just want to say with Hog, his ultimate has also changed. You don't use it straight away, you have to actually use your left click. So if you're just going to get back into Hog straight away, make sure when you use your left click, because when I first started I was like, what the fuck, why isn't it starting? But yeah, when you actually use his ult now, you have to also click to shoot. And you might think that's bad, but what that means is you can also heal and hook him enemies while you're ulting as well, which is a massive change to Hog, and I think it's OP now. Oh, now we're on to the big boys. Right, we've got Doomfist now. Doomfist is the gauntlet hero. He's like, you know, he can level skyscrapers and shit, he's great. Basically, Doomfist in Overwatch 1 was an attacker, but now he's changed to a tank. Doomfist has changed a lot. His fist, his punch, as you well know, does no damage now, but little to none. As you see there, that would instantly one-shot in Overwatch 1, but now in Overwatch 2, he's completely changed. Doomfist is also a dive character. The way you want to play Doomfist is you want to get close towards the enemies, you want to dive in between the gap, and you want to get right in their face and, you know, kill a little squishy, you know, get a pick, and get back out. His first ability is the Seismic Slam. What this does, it's like the Slam from Overwatch 1. Go forward, and it will also grant shield, but the difference is now you can actually go in the air, shoot up with it. Like that. Really good for getting up to the high ground, or, you know, closing that gap between squishies as well. Right, now, finally, the last ability of Doomfist. This is like the scariest one. This is the one, as an enemy, you will be scared for your life. Right, so this one, what it does is defensive, but you can also use it as offense. So basically, what it does is it acts as like a, you know, like a shield, and what that shield does, it reduces the damage taken. Now, the scary thing is about that ability is when you use it and take a certain amount of damage, you get something called a rocket punch. Basically, what that rocket punch is, it's like an overpowered punch which does a fuck ton of damage, and it's a lot faster. And what you can do with that punch is you can use it to either, you know, finish off the enemy, or you can escape. So straight away, as soon as you tap it, it will go straight to full, and you can zoom out of there. Boom, gone, dead. Doomfist is a very hard character like Winston. I'm not amazing at Doomfist, I'll be completely honest with you, but there's always a difference between a good Doomfist and a bad Doomfist. What I think that is feeding. A lot of Doomfists will just jump in straight away, try and get as much damage and run away, and that's good, but you want to try and confirm the kill. To do that, you want to make sure you use every single one of your abilities. So yeah, another thing with Doomfist is not sticking in for too long, because obviously, like I said before, that comes back to my first point, is feeding. You can't be feeding with Doomfist, because if you do, you'll get damaged, and your team will just be pissed off, basically. You don't want to do that. So when you're jumping in, straight away you want to deal as much damage as possible and get the hell out of there straight away. Even if it means using your ult to get out of there, you don't want to stay in there. And yeah, Doomfist I would not recommend to beginners. Doomfist is a very hard character, but like Winston, very rewarding once you get into him. we have a Sigma. Okay, so Sigma's like the stereotypical pedo. No, I'm joking. Sigma is a shield character. He's got a barrier. 700 health, not a lot. Barriers in Overwatch 2 have been nerfed drastically, so I mean he's good, but you just don't mainly want to focus him on shielding other players. You do, but don't rely on it because it'll break very quick. His first ability is a sucky. It's like a black hole type thing. Suck it in, and the more damage you suck in, the more shield you get back. His second ability is a rock throw. This will stun your enemy, you know, just extra damage, stuns him. Primary fire is like 2 balls that bounce off the sky, you know, very basic, very easy. Does a lot of damage if you hit directly. Yeah, it's also AoE. So, you know, any crowded areas, any crowded enemies in a little place like this, you know, it's very good. Lob a few in there. His ultimate, which I'll show you now, is like an anti-gravity. While you're doing it, you float. And then the enemy will float, any enemy inside, and it deals 50% damage to their health. Yeah, that's it for Sigma. If you've got up to this point so far, please hit that subscribe button. That really generally does mean a lot. I'll be bringing out more tutorials on Overwatch 2. So yeah, comment down below as well. Anything that you'd like to see in the future. What I'd recommend with Sigma is mainly making sure that you use your primary fire to the best of its ability. What you can do with the primary fire, it's actually kind of hard to get your head around. Kind of like Moira's balls, it just bounces and then it'll explode. It's probably one of the hardest things about Sigma is trying to anticipate whereabouts the ball's going to land. You know, it could bounce anywhere. You could hit it off this little canister here, and it'll go to the left. Or you can hit it on the floor, it'll go up. Or do a trick shot, bounce it back. You know, it might hit them as well. Another thing with Sigma, like D.Va, make sure you use your abilities properly. With Sigma, a lot of Sigmas will use the defense thingamabobber. Yeah, the kinetic grasp, as one must call it. Yeah, you want to make sure you use that when you're actually being attacked. It just gives you so much health, and it's very good. It's like the D.Va defense matrix. It can defend a lot of people. You can defend your teammates with it, and yeah, it's just good. Another thing with Sigma, make sure you're using your shield all the time. If you right click again, you can get rid of the shield, which is good. But obviously, you know, it's got a cooldown on it. And yeah, when it breaks, the cooldown increases. Yeah, making sure you're using that shield constantly is a good thing. You want to take it down whenever you're not using it, because then it will regenerate the shield. That's another thing that's very important with Sigma players. Also, I just want to emphasize, if you do want to get into Sigma, I'm just going to tell you right now, he's by far one of the sickest ultimates you can have. Like, you won't believe how much damage it does in total. Like, it basically takes off half health of Hog. Hog's got like 700 health, like just 50% damage to every single character. Even if they've got a shield up or anything, it's just insane. And it puts them in the air, ready for all your teams to just blast them down. So yeah, his ultimate, probably one of the best ultimates in the game. With Zarya, I would say, is the fly gravity. Next character, one of my favourite characters, Dream Queen. This is one of the new characters to Overwatch 2. And yeah, she's like the rallying type hero, like Bridget, or Brigitte. Yeah, quickly an overview of her abilities. This character focuses on bleed damage, so any damage you do will cause bleed. And that'll give you health back. So she's like a vampire, sort of. But yeah, her primary fire is a shotgun. You know, nice. Does insane damage close range. As you can see there. Her next ability I'm going to show off is the knife. It's a throwing knife. So you throw it, and as it hits them, it's bleed damage, and then you use it again, and it'll reel them in. Almost like Hog's hook. Next ability is the axe. And, this also does damage over time, which heals you and does damage to them. So what you want to do with this is, if they are coming around the corner, you can kind of predict it. Smack them in the face and boom, dead. Easy. Easy win. GG's. Everyone wins. The last ability is like Bridget's ult almost, but it's like instant. It gives everyone extra health and also speed. So anyone around us in like a circle will get that extra health and extra speed. And lastly, ultimate, this also does bleed damage, and yeah, it's very good for like just going through shield characters and ultimately just smashing everyone. You can go through them, and it'll also act like an anti-nade. You can see here. Boom. They'll get anti and bleed damage over time. This is very good to finish off characters that are low, and even then tanks as well. So characters like Hog, you shoot right through them and they won't be able to heal up. It's insane to just finish them all off. The main thing you need to realize is that bleed damage. Bleed damage is so insane. Like if I show you here, this passive Heal from all damage over time dealt by wounds. The Jagged Blade, that brings in a wound, not a wound. The Knife, the stabby. This also gives you health and bleeds them over time. You know, if you punch someone, look how much damage that does on my punch. Like, come on, how could you not use that? And also the smacky, that also does damage over time. All of that heals you up. No one realizes how OP that really is. Think about it, right? You've got 425 health, right? You're a tank. You've got a shotgun, which does that much damage. You've got your shift, which not only grants you speed, it grants you speed, the teammate speed, everyone health. It's insane. And then you've got the bleeds as well on top of that. All the abilities are just helping her for survivability. This character is like the ultimate destruction character that also has insane survivability. It's like the new Hog of Overwatch 2, almost. Like, literally, her punch makes you get health. And she's a tank. She heals up. You need to, like, understand that. This character. OP character. Right, anyway. That's me ranting down. Let's get on to the next character now. Okay, now we have the big boy. Big boy monkey gorilla. Here we've got Winston. Winston is by far the sickest character ever. If you want a main tank, this is a very hard character to main. This is like this is the Genji of tanks, if I was to describe him as. He will jump in, get behind the enemy, and yeah, probably the best dive character in the game, in my opinion. I think anyway. His new ability now is like a long range shot, which I think is quite good. It does a lot of damage, decent amount of damage. Fill it up to the full. Like that, as so. You can see it does a decent amount of damage on Tracer. But what you can do now with Winston, if you already played Winston before, you're going to look at the abilities. One thing that is new on Overwatch 2, which I'll talk to about now, is this new dive combo. If you want to look at the top left of your screen, top right, it'll be there somewhere, or in the description below. One of my videos did explain this fully, but what you can do with Winston is if you jump, zap, and punch at the same time, and it does more damage. It's like an insane combo. Usually what you do is dive in and punch, and then it'll deal insane damage, but now you deal even more damage doing that. Yeah, it's primary fire anyway. For the new people that haven't played tanks, its primary fire is electric. Zap, zap, zap. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it damages everyone in the vicinity. Yeah, it's not the best primary weapon, but it makes up for it with the jump, and obviously, you know, the new zap cannon. And his next ability is the shield. Shield's dead straightforward. It's a barrier, same as Sigma's actually, 700 health. And what that'll do, you know, anyone inside will be protected, or anyone on the outside will be protected if there's enemies on the inside. And lastly, his ultimate, Primal Rage. What this does, it gives him a fuck ton of health, and basically he becomes Big Boy Monkey, even more bigger than what he was before. So yeah, he now gets jumped every 2 seconds. He doesn't get a barrier, but it also regains all his health. So say for example you one tap, you know, you're about to die, you can quickly pop that, you get all your health back, and yeah, then you become scary. As well as that, you also get an extra jump, so if you run out of jumps and you're scared, you can pop that, get an extra jump, and after it's finished, your jump also comes back again. So you can kind of jump twice in a row. Yeah, it's very useful. Yeah, recommendations for Winston. I would recommend playing him, but if you're a beginner, definitely do not start with this character, because this is a very hard character to master. Even though there's only 2 abilities, this character just... He's definitely a 3-star. If you know what that means in Overwatch mod, that's like the hardest difficulty, basically. Main thing I can say is use your bubbles correctly. A lot of people on the choke point will use their bubbles like this. Yeah, it can work, but now that you've not got a bubble, how the hell are you going to dive in and kill a team? Like, I'm sorry, but you'll jump in, yeah, you'll deal a lot of damage, that's great. As soon as you start jumping in on the squishies, the whole team's going to turn around likely, and you're just going to get fucked. You've not got your bubble, there's no point in jumping in. You might as well get your bubble ready, and jump in, do the zappy, punch down, and get your bubble. Another thing with Winston is making sure you're doing that combo. But the dive combo is, obviously, it's on my other video. Make sure you watch that if you want to learn how to get better with Winston. You jump up, zap, punch. And look how much damage that does. Right to finish him. As soon as you do that, you can jump back out. That's what you want to do with Winston. You want to jump in, damage, jump back out. And another thing with Winston, last thing, don't jump on tanks and don't jump on Reaper. Or any other shotgun character for that matter. You need to know what characters you can jump on. Sometimes some tanks you can jump on. Like, for example, Reinhardt. Reinhardt's not too bad to jump on. He does a lot of damage, but you can't exactly kill him on your own. But characters like that, or Zarya even, you know, you can jump on characters like that. But the one thing with Winston is battle experience. For example, Genji. Genji is like... Winston's like the ultimate counter to Genji. And yeah, other characters like that, like Junkrat, Symmetra, healers, stuff like that, characters like that, you'll want to be able to jump in on. And the reason why that is because they're very easy, very like vulnerable. Like, for example, Zen. Even though Zen's got a kick now, he's still quite vulnerable to jump on. And yeah, overall, just Winston can dominate those characters. If you jump on the wrong guy, you're going to get fucked. But if you jump on the right guy, you're going to absolutely smash their team. Next character is Orisa. Orisa's had a massive rework. If you've not seen it on Overwatch 2, it's completely different now than Overwatch 1. Overwatch 1, she used to be a main shield tank, but now she's changed from that, and now she's just deadly. Like, you do not want to cross Orisa. But yeah, she can actually solo now. I'd say she's more of a solo tank. You know, she can go in and beat the crap out of anyone, basically. Changed abilities now. She's got the same one as before, which is gold mode. Basically, she's immovable. She can't be pushed away. And as well as that, she takes damage reduction. And as you can see at the bottom left, also extra health. Her next ability is like a spinny. It basically pushes them away and does a bit of damage. It's good for knocking people off the edge, as I'll show you in a second as he comes back around. Ooh. And he's dead. So good for that. Good for also pushing people back. So say, for example, you know, our team's over here. One enemy pushing up. And push them forward into your team, and it fucks them over completely. Orisa's last ability is the javelin or the spear. Very good. It knocks people back like that. And if you do knock them into a wall like Doomfist, it also does increase damage. This character also has a special feature, so if you shoot for too long, it will overheat. You can see there. And then you can't use his attack for a couple of seconds. Finally, her ultimate, we'll just get it now quickly. Like a sucky, so it does. Anyone in the area will get sucked in. And you hold it down, let go, and it'll deal a percent amount of damage. If you hold it down for longer, it'll deal more damage. Mainly with Orisa, you want to make sure that primary fire does not go all the way up to the top and get overcharged. Do that. Like a good 5 seconds before you can shoot again, which is a long time if you think about it. Next thing with Orisa, don't play her like you played Orisa on Overwatch 1. Overwatch 1 is gone now. Orisa is not like what she was. Orisa's now more offensive, like Junker Queen, and way more aggressive. The main thing you want to do with Orisa is focus on her ult. Her ult is like very good and very scary as well. So when you're using your ult, you want to make sure you know what? I'd even go as far to say is you could go up behind them and surprise attack them with your ult. As bad as that sounds doing, when you cast her ult, she also goes into gold mode, so she's got a lot of extra health. If you see it goes up to 500% part, if you can get that off, that is insane. When you suck all the enemies in, they're going to start running away and crapping themselves basically, or they'll try and kill you. You're like a nuke with a radius. Like you're not invincible, but if you do manage to get 500%, you'll just kill everything basically. Last tip with Orisa, make sure you're using the swingy well, because that ability is quite OP. You might not think it, it's just to push enemies away. Yeah, what you can do, you can push them into your team. And that is really helpful, you know, for getting extra picks and compete. Yeah. Right, now you got the hamster, the wrecking ball. This character is very fun to play. Personally, I don't play this character a lot in compete, because this character is very good for feeding, very easily at feeding. But what this character specializes in, like Winston, like D.Va, which is very good for diving in. Or he's very good for diving in, rather, and diving back out. So, for example, here, you swing in, slam down, boom, shoot him, you know, whatever, kill him, and you can get back out. The first ability is just the ball. This is the left shift, which swaps between ball and normal mode. The E ability is it's like a shield. So press E. The more enemies that are nearby, you'll see that little bar there. More enemies that are nearby. As you can see, there's 2 nearby next to me now. More shield you get. See there? So if all 5 heroes are there, you know, you get loads of shield, and you just got insane amount of health. So you can jump in, get all that shield on you, shoot loads of people, kill them all, and boom, get back out, and you're safe. The only problem with that is you can feed very easily. Next ability is the grappling hook. Shoot up in the air, and then the last ability is the slam. Slams down. Okay, so now the ultimate, which is the last ability. is basically a cluster of mines. So what you can do with this is you can slam, or go up, sorry, slam down. Go up, slam down. You slam up, and then you slam back down. And as the down will come into the middle, you like that, you get sucked in, and then you can ult. And this is the ult here. Just a cluster of mines. Anything that walks into it will just blow up. Does a lot of damage. These mines can be destroyed. Yeah. You don't want to rush in and feed. Basically, what feeding means is you give the enemies loads of ult charge for free, basically. Don't want to do that. That's not a good idea because, you know, ults are scary. Don't want to mess with that. The way you do that is, you know, just by sticking around. You know, even if you're on like 300 health, you know, you're still alive, which is great. But think how much damage the enemy team's done to you, and think how much ult charge you would have got off that. What did you gain off it? Nothing. You gained nothing, except from the fact that you survived, which is great. But the enemy team gained a lot of it. Yeah, it might distract them for a few seconds, but I'm sure you'll piss off the team doing that. That's one main thing with Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball's not the easiest character to play. You can't just go in willy-nilly thinking, oh yeah, I'm a master of Wrecking Ball. You've got to think before you play Wrecking Ball. Or before you jump in, sorry, as Wrecking Ball. This next character is Reinhardt. This character's like the shield character. This is a very easy character to play. Start off with. You can make a lot of mistakes. As a beginner, like for example, you know, you'll push in too far, or you'll charge in when you not really meant to. But ultimately, this character is quite easy. If you're not very good with aiming, you know, when I started, I wasn't very good. You can just kind of swing your hammer, and yeah, it does an insane amount of damage. Like if there was literally 5 heroes here, you can just swing left to right, just like that, and it'll get them all. And it does. Look how much damage it does. Like they're all dead already. The thing they've changed with Reinhardt and Overwatch 2 is the Fire Strike. You can now Fire Strike twice, which is a very good effect. Look how much damage that does. You do that twice in a row, almost one shot on most squishies. The next ability is the charge. Charge in, pin someone, which I didn't do there. You'll pin them, go straight into the wall, and it'll increase damage. The one thing that's changed about the charge in Overwatch 2 now is you can actually stop the charge. So if you don't want to anymore, you think, yeah, fuck that, bad idea. You can stop, and you can also scare people, I guess, as well. You could bait them out. Pretend you're going to charge at them, they might jump away. You could stop as soon as you get next to them and start swinging at them. They're like, for example, here. You don't pin them, you stop, start swinging. See? Yeah, the next ability, last ability, which is the most important one for Reinhardt, you know, is the shield. The shield's got 1,200 health, got a lot of health, you know, so very good for shielding your allies, making sure they're alright. Last ability is the Earth Shatter. What that does is it'll stun loads of enemies in the vicinity, so in the area that you're pointing at. This ultimate also will damage the closest people next to it, so it will like one-shot little guys, so smack it right on them. That primary bit there, that'll deal a fuck ton of damage. Then the other bit after it will just stun the rest and yeah, get them all on the floor basically. Ready for you to Fire Strike and swing at them. Oh, or charge if you must. The main thing I want to emphasize about Reinhardt is the fact that his shield is nowhere near as OP as what it used to be. His shield now, it's good, but it can't shield the whole team for like 20 seconds for a Bastion. It can't do that anymore. He's not the shield character he once was. He's now more aggressive. With Ryan, you want to play him a lot more aggressive, deal a lot more damage. He's got 2 Fire Strikes now, so you can use that to play. You want to get in their faces, start swinging at them, just kill everything. That's what you want to do with Ryan. Yeah, he's good to start the push as well. You know, starts charging on the right guy. You can start a push. The whole enemy team will come in behind you and back you up. But yeah, Ryan is a lot more aggressive now. He already was aggressive, but that shield just isn't as good as what it used to be. And that's one thing you need to realise now as an Overwatch 2 player. Finally, the last character. We've got Zarya. She's like the sexy goth, if you will. She's gorgeous. You should see her. She's got muscles bigger than mine as well. Let's have a look. Come on, come on. Yeah, she looks sexy. Anyway, right, ignoring her amazing looks, let's get onto her abilities. Her first ability, you know, if you look at the bottom right, she's only got 2 abilities. They both are bubbles. So you got primary, you know, bubble yourself, and you can bubble a teammate. So like that, you know, who's getting damage, you bubble them. And what that does, if you bubble them, you'll get power. What that power does, that power increases your damage. So if I just stand here, for example, wait for him to attack me, you can bubble yourself, and you see there, that number 10, that's how much damage output you'll get. Now you probably know this and you're thinking, oh epic, this is basic shit, this is meant to be like an advanced guide. Yeah, okay. Well, Overwatch 2 has changed now, and on Zarya, you can actually bubble yourself or an ally twice in a row. So instead of, you know, bubbling someone else, you can bubble yourself again. And you may think that's a bit pointless, but basically now Zarya can solo tank. Like, she is insane. Like, anyone that comes on her path, you can bubble. And, you know, the enemy might say, yeah, bubble's down. But you don't know. You don't know. She could have 2 bubbles still. You know, say, for example, a Pharah ultra. You can bubble. And then after it runs out, quickly, straight away, you can bubble again. And you just get so much power. Like, she is insane now. She has been nerfed recently. But yeah, I think she's one of the most OP characters. Or OP tanks, sorry, in the game. As of right now, for Overwatch 2. Yeah, I forgot to mention this one, but she's got a laser for a primary, a left click. And a right click is like a shooty, bubbly. And obviously that's the amount of damage it'll deal. Depending on what number your energy is at. So if it's like at 80% or 80, then it's going to deal a crap ton of damage, basically. Yeah, also, it doesn't take account for headshots, so I wouldn't even try going for headshot. As you can see there, just shoot him in the body. You can also use a right click just to get a bit of a boost. Yeah, I won't worry about your health because your shield does come back. That blue bar there, if you get it past the blue bar, that doesn't regen, that's your health. But the blue bar, which is your shield, will regen if you're doing this. Finally, our ultimate. I think one of the best ultimates in the game is the Graviton. It'll suck anyone in. You might think that is absolutely crap, but if you suck loads of people in, you can combo it with other players. You know, you get all 5 enemies in there. You can shoot a Hands ult in, you can shoot a Pharah ult, Junkrat ult, Reaper ult, anything. Plenty of ults can combo with it. Yeah, it costs 2 ults, but if you take out the whole team, you know, that's a free team kill. Insane ult. Now, I want to say with Zarya, she's changed a lot. I know Zarya used to be like the character that would just save everyone. Ah, thanks for the bubble. Nice one for the bubble. You're a queen, you're a king, you know, you're fucking great. You gave me a bubble. But now, you don't really want to do that. You do want to bubble your team if they won. Yeah, it'll save their life. But mainly this character just solos on her own. You don't really need to use the bubble anymore. I mean, if you use the bubble on other characters, you're not going to get as much value out of using the bubble yourself. I know that sounds bad. It sounds a bit, sounds like you're not really asked about your team and you're a tank. You should be bothered about your team. But with this character now, she's more scary if you just go in on your own and bubble yourself twice instead of bubble your teammates. Yeah, obviously push through your team. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to say bubble yourself twice. The odd time, yeah, you want to bubble your teammates, you know, when they're pushing in. You're a tank, you're meant to go in first. And when you're doing that, you want to bubble yourself twice. And, yeah, you'll likely get up to full power and just decimate everything. Another thing with Zarya, when you're on 100 power, you do a lot of damage, but please just don't think you're invincible, because I've done that plenty of times. You think, oh my god, I'm on 100 power, there's literally a Hanzo right there, you can just shoot him and he's dead. That's great, but you want to think about how deadly that Hanzo is, how deadly the other teammates are. You know, you don't want to push in dead fast straight away, otherwise you'll just get fucked, and there's all your power gone. Yeah. That's not a good feeling. Lastly, with Zarya, you want to know when you're using your bubbles. This is quite hard to get over and get used to, but once you do get used to it, she's deadly. Basically, the way you want to use your bubbles is you only want to use them when you're about to receive damage. Like, you don't want to use the bubbles if you think you're going to get damaged. You want to know for a fact you're going to get damaged. And if you don't use that bubble, you're going to get a lot of heavy damage taken on you. Like, for example, if a little diva's just attacking you, you know, a little baby diva, not going to deal a lot of damage. If she's not going to deal a lot of damage and you know that, you might not have to use the bubble. You can just quickly finish her off. Just because you won't get enough power out of it, and that power obviously equals damage, and damage equals death, and death equals win. And with that completes the ultimate tank guide for every hero. Well, every tank hero. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please do like and subscribe. That generally does mean a lot. Right now we're on 76 subscribers, you know, Soldier 76. That's alright. I'm trying to aim for 100 subscribers at the end of the year. If we get that, that would be, oh my god, insane. I would be so happy if I got that. And finally, thank you for making it to the end of the video. That's the most important part. If you got up to this point now, type in the comments down below Evil Epic, just so I know and no one else will know that you got to the end. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Really means a lot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next.